Folks, today we're actually looking at each other's stories, okay? And we've been through this sort of protocol before where you have a partner. The first thing is one person is going to read my story to my partner, all right? So if we have Jill and Joe, all right, Jill is going to read her story to Joe. When she reads it, she'll check it off. And if Joe's listening carefully, she's going to check off that he's listening. All right. Meanwhile, all right, Joe's also going to have a checklist. Joe and Jill. All right. Then when Joe reads his story, he'll check it off. All right. If he thinks Jill listened carefully, he'll check it off. And then my partner read his or her story to me. So when Joe was listening to Jill's story, he can check that off after. And Joe's going to be checking himself. Did he listen carefully to his partner's story? Because if we don't listen, we can't come up with questions, right? We really can't be thinking about it and figuring it out. So this is important for you, all right? We've talked about how listening is connected to knowing what it is you need to do, all right? I want to make sure I've got your attention right up here, okay? Yeah. All right. Then, after you've gone through read each other's story, my partner asked me at least 2 questions about my story. All right, I'm only asking you to ask at least 2 questions. Now, probably knowing you guys, you can come up with like 10 questions. All right? What I want you to do is pick the 2 best ones that you come up with. You can write down 10 questions if you want. There's plenty of room on this paper. So if you want to write them all down, go for it. All right? But at least pick the 2 best ones that you really think is going to make a difference for your story. Okay, and then don't forget to write the date at the top so we can have a record of this. And this is going to be stored in your writing folder. You are able to access your Chromebooks for this activity because I realize most of you are at the point where you have your stories mostly typed in. Okay, and we've talked about how to go back and add details. So once you have your questions and your answers, and those are questions and answers you want to go back and add into your story, you can certainly do that. Okay, does that make sense? Can I get a thumbs up or a thumbs sideways or a thumbs down? All right, that way I know who I kind of have to check in. Oh, don't give me a big explanation right now. Okay, good, very good. So that's how that checklist is going to run. All right, and